On one side, we have Pickle, the prehistoric warrior who once stood toe-to-toe with Yujiro Hanma, and on the other, Meguro Masaki, one of the most insane and brutal fighters in the entire Kengan universe. Pickle versus Meguro Masaki. And in the end, we'll also see who would win if both fighters had equal stats, equal strength and equal speed. Pickle was born in the Jurassic era, a time when dinosaurs ruled the earth. Back then, he hunted and ate dinosaurs for survival. One day, while fighting a T-Rex, a massive meteor crashed near them, freezing both Pickle and the dinosaur in ice. Millions of years later, scientists discovered his preserved body and revived him through experimentation. And that's how Pickle's journey in the Baki universe began. When Pickle first woke up, scientists tried to restrain him with a robot, but Pickle completely destroyed it. Eventually, he was placed inside the underground arena, where animals were sent in to test him. But Pickle killed and ate every single one of them. Later, Retsukeo appeared and challenged him to a fight, even offering his own body as food if he lost. Pickle accepted the challenge. As soon as Retsu stood before him, Pickle took his combat stance. Retsu delivered several powerful hits, but Pickle stood up and bit him fiercely. Retsu's Kenpo techniques had almost no effect on him. Out of desperation, Retsu started throwing random punches, but soon, his body began moving on its own. His spirit had taken over, protecting him. He launched a furious assault on Pickle, but Pickle switched into his four-legged stance, and with a monstrous charge, he defeated Retsu, even biting off one of his legs. Before Pickle could eat him, Dr. Payne injected Pickle with a tranquilizer to knock him unconscious. Otherwise, Retsu would have been killed that day. After that, Pickle fought Katsumi Orochi. The moment Katsumi stepped in, he delivered a barrage of punches, but Pickle retaliated instantly. Katsumi managed to block, but the damage was severe. Katsumi then unleashed his countless joint punch technique, a move fast enough to break the sound barrier. The punch landed squarely, sending Pickle crashing to the ground in immense pain. However, that same punch injured Katsumi's own arm as well. Still, Katsumi didn't give up and continued attacking. Pickle once again took his four-legged stance, the same one he used against Retsu, and rushed forward. Katsumi responded with his hitless blow, which seemed to knock Pickle out cold. Everyone thought Katsumi had won, but soon, Pickle opened his eyes. He wasn't unconscious, he was simply asleep. He woke up, ripped off Katsumi's arm, and everyone thought he would kill him. But surprisingly, Pickle spared his life. Next came Jack Hanma versus Pickle, one of the most chaotic and savage fights ever. Both started by biting each other like wild animals. The scene became so iconic that fans turned it into endless memes. Pickle lifted Jack high into the air and slammed him down with such force that Jack's lower face was completely destroyed. But Jack didn't back down. He countered with a spinning punch that shook the arena. Pickle again dropped into his four-legged stance and attacked, but Jack managed to deflect it, sending Pickle crashing into the audience seats. Jack kept pounding Pickle, even tearing off one of his ears. That only enraged Pickle even more. He began bouncing off the arena walls like a predator, dodging Jack's attacks, and then brutally counterattacked, overwhelming Jack completely. Pickle won the fight but didn't eat Jack, knowing that if he got too close, Jack would have killed him with his middle finger strike. In another encounter, Pickle had actually hung Jack from a skyscraper, planning to eat him later, but Jack was rescued in time. When Jack tried to fight Pickle again, Baki stopped him, convincing him to let it go. Eventually, Pickle faced Baki Hanma himself. From the very start, Baki landed a powerful kick, followed by multiple strikes. He even managed to trap Pickle in a rear naked choke, but Pickle countered by leaping into the air and slamming Baki down, breaking free from the hold. The impact was devastating. Still, Baki refused to give up. He launched his whip strike, leaving Pickle dazed and badly hurt. Pickle then used his four-legged stance again, while Baki took his triceratops stance, mimicking the power of a dinosaur. The two collided with immense force, but Pickle began to weaken. Then, Baki started urinating in every corner of the arena to provoke him, marking territory like an animal, making Pickle furious. Pickle charged in rage, but Baki dodged every attack with precision and kicked Pickle hard in the groin, causing immense pain. In pure anger, Pickle transformed into his final form, unleashing his primal fury. Yet even then, he couldn't defeat Baki. Just when it seemed Baki had won, he decided to stop using techniques and rely solely on raw strength to beat Pickle at his own game. But that decision cost him. Pickle completely destroyed Baki in hand-to-hand combat. After that fight came the Musashi Miyamoto arc, where Pickle's downfall began. When Pickle fought Musashi, the legendary swordsman completely overwhelmed him. Pickle was beaten so badly that he eventually ran away in fear. In the most recent Baki runs, Pickle has grown weaker and calmer, and in one fight, Hanma destroyed him completely, finally getting his revenge. So, in his prime, Pickle was unbelievably powerful, but over time, he's become weaker and less aggressive. Still, he remains one of the strongest beings in the series. Now let's talk about Meguro Masaki. Meguro is the son of Meguro Hiroki, also known as Meguro the Demon. Masaki started training in judo at the age of 7, and by 13, he was already strong enough to fight against adult competitors. His rival was Asuma Ajita, something we learned later in Kengan Omega. By 13, Masaki had become one of the best fighters in his father's dojo. Only 3 students and his father himself could fight him evenly. Everyone believed he was destined to be the future star of the dojo. But at that young age, Masaki's mind began to change. He had been hiding his true nature for 13 years, but he couldn't contain it any longer. One day he snapped, killing all 3 of his dojo representatives and even his father. After that, Hayami took him in and made him his pawn. In Kengan Omega, we learn that Hayami even created a clone of Masaki, his brother named Hayami Masaki. From that point on, Meguro sparred daily with his clone, trying to kill him over and over again. But no matter how much he tried, his brother never died, which only made Meguro more insane. During the Kengan Annihilation Tournament, Meguro fought Mutiba Gazenga, and the fight was one of the most brutal in the entire series. At first, Meguro held his own and even seemed to dominate, but Mutiba struck one of his eyes, blinding him in one side. Enraged, Meguro gouged out both of Mutiba's eyes in revenge, one for his and one extra for good measure. Before he could kill him, though, Mutiba grabbed Meguro by the groin and crushed him. The pain was excruciating. Mutiba then unleashed a vicious beating, but even with a crushed windpipe and one functioning eye, Meguro stood back up. That's how insane this man was. Eventually, Mutiba jammed his fingers into Meguro's remaining eye and won the fight. Meguro died, but his madness left a terrifying impression. Now let's discuss their techniques. The thing about Meguro is he doesn't really use techniques. He fights like a pure maniac, relying on raw power and insanity rather than martial arts. Pickle, on the other hand, has developed several fighting techniques despite being a primitive human. Pickle's most notable move is his leaning forward stance, or the 4-legged charge. He lowers his body like a beast and attacks with terrifying speed and strength, his most powerful technique. Another move is the rear naked choke, a hold he's used to kill dinosaurs themselves. Now, coming to the conclusion, when it comes to strength, Meguro was already unbelievably strong by the age of 13. He could compete against adults and had already killed 2 judo champions with his throws. Even his father couldn't overpower him. And remember, this was when he was just a kid. In his Kengan fights, he tore out both of Mutiba's eyes, fixed his own dislocated elbow mid-fight, and even reversed one of Mutiba's kicks by sheer strength. Meguro was terrifying as a child and remained just as terrifying as an adult. But Pickle's strength is on another level. He once threw 2 9mm bullets so hard that they embedded deep into a wall. He could hit a man so hard that it blurred his vision and nearly broke his neck. He smashed through thick walls, crushed a Siberian tiger in a hug, and threw Retsu so hard that wooden walls shattered. He broke reinforced steel doors, tore apart a truck, and even punched Hanma so hard that he went flying. And Hanma is durable enough to take punches from Spec, a man who shattered the Statue of Liberty with his fists. Pickle has broken bones, ripped off arms, and knocked Baki across the arena with a single kick. In his time, he hunted and ate creatures like Triceratops and even choked a T-Rex to death. During his fight with Musashi, One tackle from him dented a steel bar, and he even slammed Musashi deep into the ground. When it comes to sheer power, Pickle is far ahead. So, the strength point clearly goes to Pickle. In terms of durability, Meguro endured a kick that could have destroyed his brain and still stood up after being smashed into a concrete floor. Even with one eye, he managed to grip Mutiba tighter, and the more damage he took, the more excited his brain became. Pain only made him stronger. But Pickle's durability is legendary. He tanked a 9mm bullet, survived a power loader crushing his neck, and even when attacked by soldiers, he came out unharmed. After enduring Retsu's deadly attacks, strong enough to kill normal men, Pickle still stood tall. He survived truck collisions, blocked Katsumi's attacks, withstood Jack's punches, endured Baki's combos, and even jumped from a 30-meter height unharmed. Not even Musashi could slice through his neck or face. Pickle is easily the most durable character in the entire Baki series. Now speed. Meguro was fast enough to bounce off walls and rush Mutiba with blinding speed, even tearing part of his forearm in the process. But Pickle has dodged bullets from scientists, appeared behind opponents instantly, and even kept up with fighters like Jack and Baki. Musashi himself commented on Pickle's incredible charging speed. So yes, speed also goes to Pickle. All of this makes one thing crystal clear: Meguro stands no chance against Pickle. Pickle would win with absolute certainty, a 100% chance of victory, while Meguro's chances are 0. However, if both had exactly equal stats, equal strength and equal speed, the outcome might be slightly different. Even then, Meguro would struggle because Pickle still has better fighting instincts and primitive techniques. The only situation where Meguro could possibly win is if he fought the weakened version of Pickle we see in the later Baki arcs, after the Musashi fight. Even then, it would be extremely difficult, because that weakened Pickle is still far stronger than Meguro ever was. So, who do you think would win, Pickle or Meguro Masaki? Let me know in the comments. And if you enjoyed the video, please hit that subscribe button, it really helps.